There's nothing that people love more than jokes. So today I'm not gonna be doing a card trick. I'll be saying a joke to a joke. So I'm gonna. What did the priest say to the young man? Uh, these nuts. So the card trick that I'm gonna be doing today is one that's gambling themed. It's one of those gambling themed card tricks that people so like to gravitate to. So you use whatever deck of cards. I got these at the store that sells the cards. So you mix up the cards. You could give it a little bit of one of these shuffles. You offer the deck to the spectator to shuffle, and right as they grab, you can go, that's enough. Like the standard gag. So ultimately, you have the spectator cut the deck into 5 packets, just like that, and they take the top card of each packet here, and they can mix it up if they want. It doesn't. Nothing matters. I think we all die anyway. So they look at these cards, and you tell them to imagine that they're looking at a little bit of a poker hand here. So to imagine. To think of one of these cards, as a matter of fact, you think of one of them, so you don't forget, think of the highest card in your hand. So that way, it's really ingrained in your memory. Of course, they're looking at the cards like this, so I can't see them, but I'm challenged mentally anyway, so I'll forget it by the time the big reveal happens here. So they look at the cards here, they memorize the one that has the most value here. In this case, it's the Ace of Spades, and they turn it around. They shuffle these cards, and if they put it back into the deck, and you give it one of those shuffles here, one of these very very thorough shuffles, and you offer the proposition to the spectator that by simply giving the deck a couple cuts and looking inside of it, you could actually find a card with a couple cuts. That's the proposition here. As a matter of fact, their card is about 15th from the top here. So all I gotta do is just cut to the 15th card, and for the first time, sir, what is the card you're thinking of? You tell the spectator, and they say, oh, sir, I was thinking of the Ace of Spades, and you go, these nuts, these nuts. That's the card you were thinking of. But you know what? In poker, is not really. I might be able to dominate you in a poker game, but if I wanted to make sure, I could just cut to just these cards over here. I could just cut to them at random and really show how good I am at poker. So not only can I dominate you, even when you just are looking at a poker hand, I could also cut to whatever cards I want, because I have no life, and I've dedicated entirely way too much time to press the digitation. And then they're obviously in a better place than they were before they watched your stupid trick. So that's the trick. That's the trick. You nail a card that they're thinking of, and you also manage to cut to the aces in a way that's efficient, effective, and illiterate. So the setup for this trick is that you get the aces from whatever deck you want. You put them on top of the deck, and then this goes inside of the card box. And then here's where the real magic starts. You got to find someone that's desperate enough to want to watch you do a bit of card magic here. So once you molest somebody into the trick here, you're ready to go. So all you got to do is give the deck a little bit of a false shuffle here. Now, if you want, I'm not saying you have to, but if you want, what you could do is have these cards reversed on top of the deck to begin with. So you could give the spectator packets of cards for them to mix. And when they return it to you, so you go, oh, that's good enough. Here, you put it face down. You see what you're doing? So the aces are here. This is the clever part. Smash the like button for the cleverness here. So because the aces are reversed in the back, you hand them little packets. They mix it like a toddler, because that's their intelligence level here. Yeah, yeah. So they mix it up. You put it on the bottom of the stack. and you could keep giving them packets here as you want. And once you reach that face down pile, they seem to in their heads they shuffled all the cards, but really the aces have just made their way back to the top. Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't deserve you just North Korea the like button. I don't know what else would. So you have the spectator cut the deck into 5 packets. You tell them to cut kind of thin in the bottom so they have enough space. So because the aces are on top, and because they're this packet over here, whatever cards they happen to cut to, it doesn't matter, because the highest card is always going to be the card that was originally on top of the deck. You see the, oh man, we'll replace this card. So we'll say it's this card right here. So it doesn't matter what the other packets they cover, because you tell them, hey, sir, I want you to think of the highest card just to make sure that you don't forget it. See, it seems like you're being a little bit, like you're being nice to them, but really you are essentially taking their ass virginity with magic here. So they memorize the highest card in their hand here, and they could give it a little bit of a mix. By this time, you've already collected the deck in a way that keeps the aces on top. Just because I know people that are looking from many countries where it's really hard to understand basic things. Let me just do one of those in slow motion. So this is where the aces are, right? So you want to collect them in a way that keeps the aces on top. So here it is I'll give it some Taj Mahal slow motion here, just for you, the Indian crowd here. Here we go. Oh man, don't you just feel the diversity coursing through your veins? Holy shit. So they have this packet, they mix it up. This packet, it doesn't matter how they mix it up where the ace goes, because you're gonna just look through the cards anyways here. So they mix this packet up as much as they want. This goes on top of the deck, and then you give the deck a false cut. Now, you can make it look intentionally bad to cover up your lack of skill, but if you want, you could be as neat as possible when this. And you're going to say, oh, I'm just going to give the deck a little bit of a cut. What you're doing here is you're just riffling up the back of these cards until you see the ace of spades. And when you do that, you're going to riffle one more and keep a break there. The context is, I'm just trying to get a feel for the cards here. I just want to see if I could cut. So I'm going to try to cut to the card that you're thinking of, sir. And then, of course, you get the break, right? You get your little pinky break there. You're going to double undercut that to the bottom. You see what's happening? So those cards are now on the bottom of the deck, and you get the ace of spades on top. Now, the ideal situation is that the spectator, when they've shuffled their little packet of cards, is that they shuffle the ace of spades to the bottom of the deck. That way, when you collect their card and then false shuffle and do whatever sneaky business you want, the hot tip here is that all you got to do is riffle to the ace of spades, riffle one more card, and now you have all 4 cards that you could just cut to the bottom. But that's not usually going to be the situation here. So let's say they shuffled their card to the middle here. This goes on top. Of course, you do your little bit of a false shuffle. You riffle up until you see the ace of spades. You riffle one more, get a break. These cards get placed. Now, what you're worrying about right now is revealing the ace of spades without disturbing the rest of the deck. So you're going to do a Benzai spin out move here. So this is what you do here. You just cut the packet like this. This the upper half goes in the left hand, lower half goes in the right hand. Use your dirty little finger. I'm going to refrain from making incestual mother jokes here, but you use this finger to drag this card as you cut the packet. See? It drags it, and you jerk it. You jerk this hand, which propels that top card. Now what happens here is that this packet is going to be held by the left hand. That just goes right on top, and you're back where you started, and you reveal this card. So you say, oh, you know what, better than that, I don't think I cut to it here. How about that's your card? How about that's your card, sir? Now, while they're reeling back from this, all you're going to do is just eliminate whatever cards are on top of the deck that aren't aces. So in this case, there's only 2. You could just riffle up until you see an ace. Whatever card is there, the next card, that's where you're going to get your little break. That card is going to go to the bottom, and you say, you know what? But I'm going to show you how good at poker I am here, because you're thinking of an ace. So I'll just see if I could find the other aces there. And you managed to cut to the other aces. How did I do that? Oh, PigCake, how'd you do that? That's a crazy sequence right there. So you're gonna do a cutting sequence by John Bannon. So you have the aces over here on top. You're gonna swing cut this half face up. You're holding the deck face up. I hope I don't have to mention that, but you hold the deck face up. You're gonna swing cut about a less than a third of the deck to your left hand. Then you're gonna turn your right hand over and thumb off that top card onto the table. You're gonna repeat this 2 more times, and you see what that does. It looks like you're cutting into different parts of the deck and taking the cards out, but really, you're just cutting the bottom. You're just using the original top cards. You see it? You see the ingenuity here? Fucking John Bannon, if you were in front of me, I'd be all over your beautiful gray beard. So this is, I'd make it a white beard. So now you could show the fact that not only you nailed the card that they were merely thinking of, but also you cut to the rest of the aces here and successfully made yourself one step closer to losing your penis sanctity, your penile sanctity. So I hope you enjoyed that. You give it the practice that trick deserves, and try not to be so harsh on the great nation of Islam. I'm gonna go figure out better outro jokes before.
See you again when I see you again. 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 When I see you again.